Good afternoon, everybody. Paul from Singapore again. Have a short video to encourage you. Today's topic would be about tell no one. Tell no one. In the Bible, you find, especially in the four Gospels, you find that often when Jesus heals somebody, he would say this to them: make sure you tell no one. All right, when in the Gospel of Mark, when he raised Jairus' daughter, Jairus' daughter just died. He raised Jairus' daughter, and he tells the parents, Jairus and the wife and the family, strictly to tell no one. Tell no one. Okay. Then you also have another account, also in the Gospel of Mark, where he healed a man who was deaf and mute. In Mark chapter 7, he healed a man that was deaf and mute, and he says strictly to them, tell no one. But the Bible says that he went on the more to share. Even when there was a guy who was a leper, when Jesus healed the leper, he told the leper, tell no one, but show yourself to the priest as a testimony to them. Why? Because it was only the priest in the Jewish community. It was only the priest who can declare that man was clean, so that man can go back to his family. And I always wondered why Jesus do not allow the people that he healed, many of them, not all, but many of them, why he tell them not to tell anyone. One of the passage that stuck in my mind often in the Gospel of John was that it tells us that Jesus do not rely on human testimony or human acceptance, because he knows the heart of everyone. Yet, so I took that, and yet when I read this, it's sort of like, yeah, okay, Jesus don't need human testimony because he is so assured of himself, because he is the Son of God to come as Son of Man. So Jesus didn't rely on man's approval or man's criticism or man's rejection. Jesus knew what he was here for. But the question is that if you are a guy and you had been healed, aren't you excited? Aren't you glad? Okay, especially when they're talking about the Messiah. But Jesus tell them not to tell anyone. So I always thought that the basic reason is because Jesus do not depend on human testimony. Then as I was reading the last couple of days, the same passages about healing and stuff like that, and then I came to this, God is love. And then also the passage in Romans that says, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. And I felt that the Lord spoke to me was this. He says, it wasn't an audible voice, but it was a very beautiful thought that came to my mind. Could it be that Jesus tell these people not to tell anyone else? They are healed. They know they are healed now. They are better now. Not to tell anyone about Jesus healing them, because Jesus do not want to shame them. Sometimes when you experience a good thing and you want to share with everybody, and then as you excitedly you share, then people would say, hey, how did you get it in the first place? How did you get that disease in the first place? How did you get bankrupt in the first place? How do you get that situation in the first place? And then, instead of focusing on what God has done for you, you regress. You go into, maybe lying, compromising, trying to not so humiliate ourselves, I really believe that because Jesus says, I am the light of the world. I am the life. You know, I really believe that Jesus, one of the big reasons, one of the big factors to tell people not to share about their healing and just to live their life in testimony for His glory, to be witnesses, is simply to forget about their past. I really believe that even though Jesus do not need our testimony, our whether we accept Him or whether we reject Him, doesn't change Jesus' identity as God and coming to earth as Son of God. Doesn't change His identity at all. But for our sake, He would say, tell no one, because He wants us to forget about the past, because of the humiliation, of the pain, and look to Jesus and live that life in that light. So He has told these people not to tell anyone about their sickness or even their healing. But guess what? They all went, because to them, hey, no more shame. I'm healed. I'm blessed. I'm restored. And I think it's important that as we focus on witnessing for Jesus, as we focus on witnessing of what God is doing or has done for us, that we do not allow our past mistakes, our past life, our past shame to stop us from glorifying God, and to realize that no matter how broken we were, God can do a new thing for you and I. You know the song that goes, something beautiful, something good, all my confusion He understood. All I had to offer Him was brokenness and strife, but He made something beautiful of my life. And beloved, I think if you have had a rough patch, if you had a rough time, if you had situations in your life, or you're suffering physically, medically right now because of a past mistake, or even not of your mistake, something shameful, well, tell you what, believe the Lord healed you, believe the Lord loved you because He is love, believe that He wants you to live with Him in the light. So if you want to share about His love. You see, one thing about the heart of God for you and I, it's not about the mistakes, not about our sin, but about His love for us. And the famous John 3:16 verse, for God so loved you, loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believe in Him, whoso, that is you and I, believe in Him, shall not perish, but has everlasting life. So let's make it a point to everlasting praise Jesus. The Lord bless you, the Lord keep you, the Lord protect you, and prosper you in every way. In Jesus' name. Bye-bye.